Love podcasts, hate nonsense. It's the PoliticsJOE podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Neutrality in World War II, yes or no?
No.
Is this right? No.
See, we both came to the right answer, but it took us an embarrassingly long time to get there.
Because it's sort of like the jihad question that Ollie got once.
What was the jihad question?
That Ollie's so left wing, he's basically jihad.
Oh, yeah. Simons.
Stunned into silence.
Yes, the thing you won't accept is that the more left wing you are, the more likely you are to support jihad. Yeah. I actually think, by the way, the woke answer to that question is no neutrality in World War II, yes neutrality in World War One.
Yeah?
Do you hear that in the gallery? There you go.
Just because he's Irish.
You were neutral in World War II.
And that was fine.
He was talking about this. He's going on about how they dutifully returned any RAF soldier that crashed in like Belfast during World War II. I was like, I feel like that's something you should do.
It didn't say Belfast, it said in the Free State.
Oh, sorry.
In the Free State, John said.
Well, look, listen, I wasn't really listening.
It's interesting modelling your political career after Neville Chamberlain. It's a good tactic to... Chamberlain was right, isn't a vote winner, I would say.
Why was that guy pro neutrality?
Why was it?
Yeah.
He thought he could do a deal with Hitler.
Right.
Well, the Germans wanted neutrality with Britain. They viewed us as kindred spirits.
Do you think...
He was impressed with the empire.
Or do you think that's more embarrassing, that like kind of Cold War-esque, where like actually no one was interested in us, but we kept putting our beak in?
You know, Hitler, if the Germans had successfully invaded Britain, wanted Blackpool left alone. He didn't want Blackpool destroyed because he wanted a pleasure city.
Right.
He thought it was important for the population to have somewhere to go on holiday.
Right.
I mean, it's historic Blackpool was once sort of unique, like globally, for its illuminations and as an entertainment centre, and also in terms of the number of people that used to go there, and it's kind of precipitous decline into, well, kind of left behind, abandoned place. There's a really good bit in Unheard recently in Blackpool, which is well worth your time. But it's striking that it can go from kind of being like the destination in Europe to completely and utterly dilapidated and run down in the space of decades. Quite remarkable.
Do you know who'd do something about that?
Tell me.
Ed Davey.
Well, he would, wouldn't he? If he's going to take us back into the single market.
Yeah.
There was a big boost to our beaches, wasn't there, after COVID? Or during
Oh,
COVID?
yeah.
Because a lot of people were visiting seaside towns again because they were worried about going away. So if you take his tax on flights, Ed Davey's proposed tax on flights, and the potential to go back into the EU and get the subsidies back for the beaches, Blackpool could be up and running by next year.
We saved Blackpool in 1 year.
Yeah.
365 days. 4th of July, 2025.
Blackpool's Independence Day. What's your favourite Lib Dem policy announcement in the manifesto, Ed?
My favourite. There's so many. I love them all so much. What's your favourite?
I liked giving councils the end and the capacity to end right to buy. I liked an immediate ban on no-fault evictions. I thought the housing stuff was good. Tripling the digital services tax I thought was good. Immediate recognition of the state of Palestine I thought was good. Legalising cannabis I thought was good.
Was there any you didn't like?
This is the
Care
problem.
stuff. He wasn't a fan of the care stuff.
We get it.
8,000 new GPs. Yeah. Well, this is the problem. This is the problem, Edward, with the Lib Dems. Because if you put it down on a piece of paper and you obscured who was offering it, you go, oh, that's interesting sort of centre-left policy ideas. And then if you just moved the bit of paper that was obscuring the letterhead and you saw that it was from the Lib Dems, you said, well, it's not fucking worth the paper that it's written on. So...
Disagree.
Go on then.
I think if it's fully costed, if one policy is costed, an opposition party or governing party might nick it and implement it. So it's the party of influence. It's the party of vibes.
Party of good ideas.
That's rough for them.
This is the real Labour Party manifesto here, and Labour are just going to steal their clothes.
The problem is, and it was kind of like when I had my political awakening, right, was 2010, around the student fee stuff. Because I wasn't old enough to vote, but you're paying attention. And there's this guy called Nick Clegg, and he's doing these debates, and Gordon Brown and David Cameron going, I agree with Nick. Legalising cannabis, that's an interesting idea. Abolishing tuition fees, that's an interesting idea. And then he gets into coalition government and he abandons that pledge. Not only does he abandon it, he triples tuition fees in coalition government. And I went to the protest. I didn't fucking ransack Millbank, but I stood outside it. And I remember saying to myself, like, never forget this feeling. Never forget this feeling of betrayal, because that is what they have done. They got your interest, and I know you weren't allowed to vote, but you're out there sort of making the case in conversation with people who were eligible to vote.
Carrying your book of 1984.
Yeah, did vote for them. And they just fucked you all. And in the name of a bullshit referendum on proportional representation that they were never going to win.
And 5 charges on plastic bags.
Was that them?
The Lib Dems. Yeah. But in return for like benefit.
And I just think they have, like, the unfortunate thing for them is there's now an entire generation of people that is the hurdle they have to surmount with everything they announce. It's like, I'm going to hold on to that for a very, 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 very long time.
Can I counter it?
Of course you can, yeah.
Labour would be the gateway to student fees, right? They were the ones who first introduced the mechanism for it.
Yeah.
Which meant that the coalition government only had to use secondary legislation. They didn't actually have to implement a whole new bill, right? Second to that, no other party has talked about abolishing it, apart from reform.
That's the problem for the Lib Dems. For all of their tennis-based stunts, and for all of Ed Davey's apparent humanity discussing the care of his son, I just can't forgive them. I won't forgive them.
You had a good line at the 2009 Lib Dem conference.
Right, okay.
I've been in the
breaking
forums.
news. Ed Campbell at the scene. What did Ed Davey say in 2009?
I was there when I was 13. He said that we should have tea with the Taliban, which was picked up and kind of ridiculed as like a insult.
The Tobias Ellwood School of Thought.
British. What did you say?
The Ellwood School of Thought.
But he then went on to say, in Afghanistan, sharing tea with someone is a way to like break down barriers and come to an agreement. Which is the phrase "tea with the Taliban." It's like hug a hoodie or something. Way worse than hug a hoodie.
Well, Corbyn wanted to do that, didn't he? He wanted to have tea with everyone.
If you got home one evening and one of the rare occasions that a sort of letter is there on the doormat.
Yep.
And it's not a bill. And you sort of look at the handwriting and you go, why is it written right to left? And then you open it and it is the Taliban request the pleasure of your company at afternoon tea tomorrow evening. Would you go?
Where is it?
Helmand.
No.
Where?
Someone not in Iraq.
No, Helmand's in Afghanistan.
Oh, never mind.
Oh God, I thought you meant like it was like, what coffee shop is that?
Would you go?
No.
Why not?
I don't trust the Taliban particularly.
Yeah, but if they invite you for tea, you've got to assume it's on good faith.
Yes, you've got to, and that's a very sensible thing to do. That's what Jamal Khashoggi said about going to the Turkish embassy. It's like, I assume I've been invited to this in good faith.
I'm just here to collect documents to marry my wife, yeah. Unlucky, pal.
I don't imagine I'd get the invite.
Why?
Yeah, they're not famously the most pro-woman organisation, are they?
Well, let's give them a chance. If we're going for tea, we might as well assume they've changed all their beliefs.
It would be a hell of a way to just sort of indoctrinate women, sort of falsely invite them to Afghanistan on the pretense of having a cup of tea and then be like, sorry, psych, there's a burqa. Off you go.
There's a film about that, isn't there? Do you know that one where they go to Iran?
Not Without My Daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sally Field.
Yeah, he really got her there, didn't he?
Pranked.
Do you know the film?
No.
He's Iranian. They've lived in America for their whole time they've known each other. He's like, I've got to go home. My dad's sick. You must come with me. She's like, okay, I'll come with you. Dutiful wife. And he gets there and he's like, haha, you can't leave now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's pretty bleak. Remember that guy Lord Miles?
Yeah.
He does tourism in Afghanistan, and then they kidnapped him for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's spiraling at the moment. He recently tweeted how he's blackpilled.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was pretty blackpilled before.
Yeah, it's interesting to be like, I'm now blackpilled.
I'm now through the looking glass. I was selling these 9/11 rocks.
I'm not sure that you can still, as someone who loves to be angry about the Lib Dems for the betrayal, I'm not actually sure you can still be angry at them for it.
Well, I am.
But because the anger that I have for it is really for selling the loans rather than putting it up in the first place. I think it's reasonable for universities. I would much rather have a free education system like Scotland has, obviously. But I think it's reasonable for them to charge £9,000 a year. I actually do think that that's reasonable value for money, particularly if you're doing medicine.
Oh.
But
Hard disagree.
But it's the selling off the loans and the obscene interest that people are expected to pay. There is no good reason why people should be paying back essentially like a loan shark fee every month from their hard-earned money rather than actually contributing to paying off their loan. That's the thing that blows my mind.
Well, I guess because in practice it basically functions as a graduate tax, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we ensure that your debt pile will basically ever increase unless you're so moneyed that you're paying off enough of this to counter the rate at which it's increasing. It essentially functions as a graduate tax. That if you're earning over the threshold 25k at the moment, you'll be paying it back for the next 25 years. It basically functions
Yeah.
as a tax,
Which is pretty sad as well, especially when you're pretty hard strapped for cash anyway when you've just graduated.
Well, I guess that's why you don't start paying it back until you start earning 25 grand. But
that's not really enough, is it, to have like 90 quid go out your bank account every month, or 80 quid, whatever it is at that point.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
I just
money.
think it should be free. I think the state should pay for it. I don't think.
Yeah, well, no, so do I. That's sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about like Maslow's hierarchy of education. Like, in an ideal world, obviously.
Would you, with hindsight, would you go into coalition with the Tories if you were Clegg? If you were
No.
Cleggy?
Never in a million years.
They had a really powerful moment there, didn't they? Because they had the
Kingmakers, yeah.
Yeah, and they had the opportunity to plunge us back into another election. And then perhaps if you did the maths at that time, you might think, well, the Tories will actually swing it this time. More people will vote for
What
them.
were Labour on? Would it have been a minority government, or would they have had enough to
It could have been a Liberal Labour
Oh, could it
coalition.
have
I think
been?
so.
just?
Yeah, Tories had more seats, but I think it was
Let's go 2010.
would have been a much weaker government.
They could have done Lib, Lab, DUP.
The classic, the trifecta.
The founding fathers.
Cymru.
Let's have a look. Sorry, guys, you might need to talk amongst yourselves.
I think
for a
if
moment.
you
We're both wearing a grey hoodie today.
we are. It's a treat for the listeners to
It's a
find out
real
what
treat,
we're wearing.
isn't it?
I think if you're, in hindsight, Nick Clegg goes into coalition and the Lib Dems hemorrhage seats and are no longer the third party in Parliament, and then 14 years later we're having conversations about would you vote for the Lib Dems based on their decision making in 2010, even though they're like putting out quite an attractive progressive slate of policies that are supposed to appeal to people like us, but there's people are still frustrated about their decision making in government in 2010 and also enabling austerity for
Right.
5 years. I think that was probably a mistake.
The outcome is bad.
Outcome bad for the country and the Liberal Democrats.
But that's with hindsight, isn't it?
Well, yeah, obviously.
I suppose selfishly at the point in time you'd go, "Oh, I don't really want to send don't want to send this back to the electorate because we might lose some Lib Dem MPs and I'd rather keep what we have."
I'd quite like to be Deputy Prime Minister.
But you know,
They needed 11
nearly-
extra seats.
who
Oh,
does?
really?
Yeah, if Labour and Lib Dems had gone into coalition, they would have needed an extra 11. But apparently it was abortive. Apparently the Lib Dems just immediately went to the Tories.
Well,
We're here.
Let's fucking get this show on the road, Daft Cow.
Nick Clegg is quite Tory though, isn't he?
Yeah. A right-wing liberal.
Yeah. You know what we nearly had, the future that we could have had, which we were denied, is Jo Swinson as Prime Minister.
The next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Do you know what?
Such a campaigning error, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Fucking
insane.
Yeah, good for her.
Good for her.
Like,
Conceive, believe, achieve, baby.
why on earth would you want any of your broadcasts around availability or opportunity to be talking about Lib Dem policy when you can talk about how ridiculous it is that you think that you could be Prime Minister? The first 6 minutes of any interview she ever gave after that was just like journalists going, but you do you really think that? Are you delusional? Why are you wearing another yellow dress? Every bloody time that woman turned up on any TV appearance, it was a different yellow dress. Where was she buying them?
There was a run on yellow dresses in the UK. Yeah, when you think about it like that, it's actually a pretty hard pivot to like Ed Davey on a water slide,
Very humble.
isn't it?
No yellow dress in that.
Yeah.
No.
I love that they were just like, yeah, we really got it wrong last time. Fucking fire up, rush at Thorpe Park, get Ed Davey on it. Job done.
Do you think politicians or leaders are ever annoyed that they have to wear their party's colours? Kind of seems like dressing up like a costume.
Stephen Flynn didn't wear his colours on Friday,
Did
did
he wear a
he?
yellow tie?
I don't think he did wear a yellow tie.
Like an
did he?
orangey?
Starmer wore a blue tie the other day.
But I mean the debates and stuff. Or I mean for a woman actually specifically, like Angela Rayner in a red dress.
I think she just
Cara
likes red,
Denier-
to be honest.
Cara Denier in a green suit.
Yeah, don't know what that's about.
It's a bit of a pivot, but literally everyone on Love Island last night was wearing red.
Are you watching Love Island?
It's really gone downhill.
Are you the one person who's
Yeah,
watching Love
just me.
Island?
Yeah, it's gone super downhill.
I saw a TikTok of it today.
It's bad.
And I thought, I've not heard a single thing about Love Island.
Yeah, they're all fucking minging.
I
as well.
didn't actually even know it was
They're
on.
amazing.
Yeah, they're not even fit. It's like, what is the point of this show now?
But Maya Jama's on there, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's not
all
in
the
there.
time.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
First, I would never speak ill of the Queen, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, certified rocket, Maya Jama. We pay
Rocket.
our respects.
Queen Camilla.
She's not even a rocket, is she? She's sort of like a deity.
Yeah, she's astronomical.
Yeah.
Out of this world. No, the rest
She
of them
wouldn't have gone into
fucking. I've got to
coalition
be honest,
with
they're
the
hanging.
Tories.
And it's like, why are we watching this show? It's not for fucking the debate, is it? It's because you've got a six pack and you wear a thong all day. Like, that's why we watch the
I
show.
want to try and work out what you eat to maintain that level of lean mass.
Yeah. Joey Essex is in it, actually.
Oh, that's weird.
It is
What?
weird, yeah.
Why is Joey Essex there?
joking?
No, he's in it, yeah.
He's in there as like
What's
a normal
he doing
contestant.
in there?
He's in there as a contestant.
That's like full circle ITV2.
Yeah.
That's the completion of ITV2 as
He's
the
done the
channel.
circuit, yeah.
Oh,
It's also
wow.
weird because he must be like in his late 30s by now.
Well, then he's past his prime, isn't he?
On the shelf.
But also, it's I guess a tricky one for him because if you're, a run-of-the-mill Love Island contestant and you get in there and then you're like, fuck me, this is like having Man City here. Like, this man is big time. He is like
Do the girls
he's
like
the
him?
Ayatollah of reality TV.
Ayatollah.
He's the Taliban of ITV2.
Yes, Joey Essex, I would like to go for tea.
Tobias Elwood's at the door again.
No, because if you're just a regular person who's in Love Island, Joey Essex, you're like, well, fucking obviously we're going to shack up with him because that's like route one to an ITV2 docuseries
Yeah.
about our life
Oh, yeah.
after Love Island.
Are
unfair.
the girls after him? Is he popular?
I mean, I've only watched one episode and they were all wearing red and no one was fit. And I was like, why am I watching
is that what
this?
made you think about it? Because of Angela Rayner wearing red.
Yeah, because we were talking about the clothes everyone was
Ah.
wearing. It was genuinely confusing. I didn't understand what was going on.
Well,
Maybe it's sponsored by the Labour Party.
They've obviously shown that.
interesting.
Well, do you know who is sponsored by the Labour Party? The Sun.
Oh,
you
the
see
website.
that
Yeah.
website yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've done that a couple of times, taken over different websites.
I'll be in
programmatic
Liverpool on
advertising.
Friday, won't I? Looking forward to that.
What's everyone's favourite Love Island moment of all time?
Oh, without a doubt, the tits thing.
I licked a tit. I licked a tit.
I licked a tit.
It's so great.
So funny.
I like when Adam Collard came back.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you know both of his names?
What? Well, like, why? Why is that weird?
How do you know that?
I don't know. Megan Barson Hansen. Wes Nelson.
Wes Nelson's a rapper now.
Yeah.
Megan, I was going to say something really mean. No, fuck it. It's all plastic surgery, isn't it? So I can say this. It's not her actual body. She was in...
Is that how it works? Is that how it
No,
works?
because she wasn't born with it. You know, it wasn't like a natural defect. It was a defect she brought upon herself.
She paid for it.
Deary me.
I saw her
Girls
once.
supporting girls.
No, listen. I love the girls. I'm just pointing out.
Please continue. Yeah.
But also, you've already made the point that we watch Love Island not for the chat, not for the debate.
Yeah, correct.
She was in the cafe at the last place I worked in front of me, and I actually could not believe the state of that plastic surgery. It actually shocked me. It was a body type I have never seen in the flesh before. It actually astounded me.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's sad. I think the reason I say that, because I think that's bad. I think that's bad to be promoting that sort of body.
We interviewed her when we made our Love Island film, and she would very much sort of make the case that it makes her feel good, makes her happy. But I do know what you mean. I'm not saying this is the case with her, but with other people, let's say, the Kardashians are a good example, or anyone else, where if you get this plastic surgery, it might be like a BBL or whatever, and it's essentially like surgery for Instagram aesthetic. So it's like, I don't know, your arse looks ginormous when someone takes a photo of you in profile, or I don't know, whatever it is. But the second you actually see it, for example, in like video or not, so I don't know, let's take a Kardashian, for example, not in the reality TV show, but when there's like someone who's filmed something on a smartphone at like the side of a red carpet and you see them walking up and you're like, oh, fucking hell, that's what that actually looks like. That's insane. And it's an interesting way that social media aesthetics have kind of extended their tendrils into the real world and started literally changing people's body types and shapes for Instagram engagement.
I think also as well, it ages people prematurely. If someone like in their 20s gets a ton of plastic surgery, they actually look much older because it's people in their 40s or something that would get it.
Yeah, but they're all doing it now. They're all doing baby Botox. There's an entire generation of women who think that they need to start Botox at 22, and they don't.
Does Botox make you look younger though, not older? It catches up with you in the end, I guess.
It does, but it's a bit of both, because a 20-year-old's skin is peachy and it doesn't need to be taut. And so it's quite obvious if like a 20-year-old's got...
If a 20-year-old has a facelift, you think, who is that 35-year-old person?
I think it's sad. Also,
is that the first thing you think?
Excuse me?
Who is that 35-year-old?
Oh, I bet you remember when Nick Clegg introduced tuition fees, madam. I don't think you were born after Iraq.
Oh, fucker, you motherfucker. That tweet you did where you were like, anyone who cares about tuition fees is old. I was like...
I sent that to Ava first to see if it was funny, and Ava had such a visceral reaction. I was like, okay, this is going. Because I wasn't really sure if it applied to you, because we went to uni at the same time. So I wasn't sure if you were angry.
Why would it not apply to me? I still had to pay it.
I don't know, just because I wasn't sure about how... Because I knew he was livid. I just wasn't sure about your feelings on it.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Did you know that there will be people who were born after 9/11 voting in this election?
Did we figure out if Laura was born after 9/11?
We can ask.
We could just ask her.
9 months old, but 9/11.
Good.
And you did nothing?
I find that quite funny when I talk to like, I don't know, like a man I'm dating, and he'll like have a really clear recollection of Diana dying.
Someone I know is dating a guy 4 years younger than her. The first serious world event he remembers is Obama being elected.
What?
Oh no.
Are you joking? No. But is he also just a bit thick?
Oh no, he was 8. So before that, what, 2005 election?
Fair enough.
The Boxing Day tsunami?
That was a bad one.
That was a bad one. I'm glad we're all coming out against the Boxing Day tsunami.
I would have actually taken it for tea.
Have we simply tried to have a dialogue with the Boxing Day tsunami?
But okay, so let's say it was on condition you would be safe. Like they've assured you you're safe.
Hang on.
Tsunami?
No, the Taliban.
Right.
Oh.
Would you go for tea?
No, I don't trust
Why
them.
not? Why is it not interesting?
I think I'm more concerned about personal safety.
This is actually not
Really
just...
showing your prejudice if you can't trust like all of the Taliban. Why are you painting them? They're not a monolith.
What's more
They don't all
concerning?
vote the same.
What's more concerning is, other than your general lack of curiosity in the human condition as a person, but you are also a journalist.
Oh my God,
Edward. You need to have a degree of personal, professional capacity and curiosity about the Taliban. You're telling me if the Taliban invited you for tea, you wouldn't go. You are a journalist.
Imagine the extreme Britain you could do there.
So that's a completely different question. Would you go and have tea with the Taliban in a personal capacity? Probably not. Would you make a documentary with the Taliban? Yes. It's a different question.
I don't believe you now.
You do this all the time.
I don't believe you now.
You try and shift the goalpost.
Dishonest. Completely dishonest.
What would your extreme Britain question be for the Taliban?
Do you thank the bus driver?
Do you think the bus driver? What do you get on your roll?
Is it a
What do you
balm
call
or a
this?
cob?
That Leo Varadkar thing.
Do you call it squash or do you call it
Juice.
juice?
Is this a cob or is this a...
Do Northerners in Afghanistan like people in the south or whatever?
There was a segment on Voxing the other day on, I want to say Radio 4. I think it might have been on Broadcasting House.
Rude of them to not invite the king.
Yeah. Well, that's...
Was it quite antic?
I was actually half expecting there to be like a... I actually think we should listen back to it and then come back tomorrow and give our appraisal of it. My opinion was, you lot don't know Voxing.
You lot are amateurs.
Yeah.
You haven't done hundreds.
You haven't been like 12 hours into a shift, rung up by Ollie Dugmore. Can you just get a quick Vox? Standing in the pouring rain, begging people to please talk to you.
You've not been denying Harry lunch for...
Oh, yeah. Ed hasn't fed Harry the entire time he's worked with him.
That's another professional shortcoming of Ed Campbell.
When we're doing yours.
Is that not
don't
at
have
all
time.
coming?
I'm sorry, I'm taking my vengeance. The fucking pair of you going on like the Welsh language relentlessly for the last 2 episodes. My time is now.
I've been on one.
Feed your shooter, Ed.
I've
It's
been
rule
on one
number
episode in like 6 days.
It's rule number 1, isn't it? Feed your shooter.
I feed Harry, like I get there. I'm
You
like, would
indulge
like-
him.
Harry-
I do indulge
You
him.
indulge.
I do
Harry
indulge him.
8. Harry 8.
Harry 8. I give
There
him
was not a
I give him pint. I like do everything. Harry, what can I get for you? Would you please get just a little bit of B-roll for me, please? I'll buy you a Danish. Laura, who was the guy that I interviewed on Friday? The politician that replied to Ollie about the Welsh language.
Yeah. I thought you were going to ask him about it.
He's a big. Well, I thought about it.
Did you think about asking?
Obviously, you should not have done that.
Oh,
Did you think about asking Zach Polanski about the breast enlargement thing?
yeah, I did.
Should have done that.
But then I'd already gone down the anti-Semite thing.
I was.
I'd
I
already
thought-
tried to tar him
I
as an
was shouting at my
anti-Semite.
laptop.
No, I thought once you've asked about that and you've had quite a serious conversation, it'd be a bit weird to be like, any luck with boobs tonight?
For context, this is Zach Polanski saying he claimed he could make women's breasts bigger through hypnosis.
Do you think that he would try that? Do you think he'd come into the studio and show us?
No,
How
I
stupid
don't
would we
think
all
he
feel
would.
if it worked?
He's like a superpower. He's actually really low level superhero.
Sean's now walking around with like these huge breasts, not knowing what to do with them. Nothing fits me anymore.
Just happens to wear really baggy t-shirts.
It's like in Practical Jokers, you know, when they've got the earpieces and they're behind the wall with the microphone, except it's Zach Polanski and Sadiq Khan is sat here, and Polanski is just gradually making him grow tits over the course of an interview.
Anton Decker in the other room.
Rise up, Sadiq Khan's your time
Very
is now.
poor for you to choose Impractical Jokers over Anton Deck.
Yeah, quite America pilled though, isn't it? A bit
Because
embarrassing.
no, because Anton Deck is significantly a worse, more terrible of a reference.
Codified constitution, yes or no?
What?
For me personally.
Because the Lib Dems are offering it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess the problem that would be in reaction to the breakdown of the good chap theory that we've seen over the past couple of years.
Mm.
And I think I've actually already accidentally made the case for a codified constitution, haven't I? So it would be a bit remiss of me to backtrack now.
Yes,
You can change your mind.
it's
Well,
permitted.
if Nigel can, we all can.
I think we all can. It's not just extended to
No,
Nigel.
Before Nigel Farage did this, no one was allowed to change their minds. Yeah, limited little written constitution, I think. Not a bad idea. Enshrine certain things, free speech, freedom of association.
Freedom of speech, that could be a bit tricky, that, couldn't it?
It's contested.
Not if you're a free speech absolutist. Which is why I will now say no.
Yeah.
We've just cut out Ollie saying the worst thing that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Because we don't have free speech encoded into the constitution yet.
Did you know that there's a free speech stone in Hampstead Heath? It's the stone of free speech.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happens there?
Well,
How close is
if
that
you
to
go
the
there,
factory?
you can shout racial slurs at the top of your voice, and no one can do anything.
No one can do a thing.
No one can do anything.
Really? It's like the Rosetta Stone,
No,
is it?
you will get battered. Yeah. No, I think that it's just called the stone of free speech, just to mark free speech.
Huh.
But I like a recurring joke that you can just go there and like shout slurs. I don't know where the fuck tree is, so I couldn't tell you its proximity to the fuck tree.
You can find it. Up to, what do you think of
I think I know where it is.
500% council tax increase on second homes?
I like that every time we go off the rails, one of us is just like naming a Lib Dem policy to try and get this back on track. Point number 1, if you know where the fuck tree is, let us know. Point number 2, good policy.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably just ring up the guy who wrote the piece about the fuck tree and
That's
ask
not the-
him.
That's
What-
cheating.
Right, okay.
Why do journalism when the audience can do it for you?
Well, arguably the journalism's already been done.
We're in
We
a
just haven't
UGC
read
world.
the piece properly, have we?
Yes. Well, I don't think he specifically said where it was. Did he? Old Bron Mar in the fence.
Hampstead Heath, I think he said.
Big place that though, isn't it?
We could all take one corner each and just kind of move through it.
If you had like a decent enough sort of like echolocator, you could probably pick up on the grunting.
Yeah, but there'd be other people in the park,
Or a metal
like
detector.
working out. What, for like a cock ring?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, how would that work? You can't just point a metal detector across a park and it'd be like, the cock ring's over there. The metal detector works when you run it over the metal.
Sorry, I was thinking of a magnet, not a metal detector.
Right, okay.
And I realise now, I mean, like Prince Albert piercing rather than cock ring.
That's what I meant as well.
That's not what a cock ring is though, is it?
But the Lib Dems have got a pretty progressive tax policy, and I thought that you would be more interested in that. I thought you would have already started speaking about it.
Is it progressive?
Well, it's more progressive than Tweedle tax and Tweedle no tax. Thank you.
Wow.
That was sick. We're on fire today.
Yeah.
Cool off. It's pretty limited. Compared to, I think there's about half the amount of spending commitments in this manifesto as compared to 2019. I expect it to be more of the same with the Tories and Labour. Tripling the digital services tax, yeah, interesting.
That is way more interesting. Don't you? No, I won't have that attitude. It is really interesting that they want to tax big tech. No other party have been brave enough to confront that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just twiddling around the edges, though.
Wrong. Without taxing big tech, this is why you've got all the problems you do with online safety bill. This is why the Met can't force tech companies to hand over paedophile information, or like anything that's vaguely encrypted. The Met aren't allowed to have access to. Why are you furrowing your brow at me?
How does tripling the tax on them change that?
Because it shows that there's actually going to be some kind of intervention with these huge American companies that have been allowed to set up shop here and run riot, not pay any tax, not abide by our laws, not have to engage with our parliament. Do you know how many times the Digital and Culture Select Committee have tried to invite any of them in for evidence and they just go, no thanks, because they can. I think it shows the first stage of actually breaking into their...
Yeah, on that point as well about sort of international mega corporations, they want to standardise a 21%, at minimum 21% corporation tax across the world, so that you can't just headquarter yourself in a tax haven somewhere, but obviously.
Well, it's going to hit me hard, that.
Interesting about abolishing the 2-child limit on...
Yeah, fucking finally.
Yeah, someone brave enough to stand up and do something that's going to... We're actually against child poverty.
So they're going to...
That now makes you the most left-wing party in Britain.
Next to Suella Braverman.
Yes. Yeah, fucking hell.
Maybe that's who they can do their coalition with.
Nice. The one remaining Tory MP.
Suella. I reckon that Miriam Cates could possibly fit into the Lib Dems.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah?
I see
Yeah.
it. Her and Jamie Stone
Yeah.
hanging about.
Birds of a feather.
she sees pictures of Jamie Stone in drag as the Panto Dame and freaks out.
Danny Kruger could hang out with Tim Farron because
Do you think they should have like a buddy
they
system?
probably have pretty similar views on Christianity and the gays. You wouldn't call Danny Kruger mother.
No, absolutely not.
He would refute that
He doesn't eat. Never served once in his life.
Yeah.
Double faults all round.
Yeah.
because his mother's Prue Leith as well.
Oh, fuck yeah. Forget
Danny
about
Kruger's mum is Prue Leith.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing everyone knows about Danny Kruger.
And she does serve.
She serves
Nothing
cakes.
but aces, bro.
Nothing but
Danny.
delicious teas.
Sorry. I know that I should just believe you off the back, but it's so ridiculous that I need to look it up.
I think you're the only person who knows Danny Kruger from being like a National Conservative rather than like Prue Leith's
That is
son.
totally mental to me. I cannot believe that.
Do you think
That's like, what's his name is? Oh, God. What's his name? Who's the Tory MP who's uncle to Emily Blunt?
Crispin Blunt?
Yeah.
That's a guess. I don't know that. It's interesting.
Who's your favourite Lib Dem?
My favourite Lib Dem
Yeah. Ever.
Who's the one who did the Profumo affair? Is that what I mean? The 60s? Thorpe? Not Lib Dem technically, a Liberal.
Quite like Min Campbell.
Charles Kennedy?
Shirley Williams. OPIC. No picks for OPIC.
Opic had a bit of a nightmare the other day, didn't he?
What happened?
Opic, of Cheeky Girls fame, was, you know, touch my bum, all of that.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Banger.
Found the Eurovision Song Contest overtly sexual and said that it was poisoning children's minds. Ah,
I feel
yes, Lembit.
I feel that's the full lifespan of a Lib Dem. Just transition to reactionary at some point.
Do you think we've done the Lib Dem Manifesto justice?
I think we should point out that they want to rejoin the European single market with a move to rejoin the EU.
We did that. That was the first one we did.
But we need to discuss it in depth.
What would you like to say about it, Ed?
I think it's interesting that you can't, because of woke, you can't say Brexit's been bad. As in, like, neither the Conservatives or Labour are going to engage with Brexit in its actual terms. It's still becoming, because of 2016 and the referendum, it's still even opposing
There's no
the idea of
muerta.
this, even saying Brexit isn't going well is like you can't say that as a mainstream politician.
It's changing though, isn't it?
What?
Public sentiment towards it is changing.
Yeah, but there's no recognition of that.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way Labour are going to stand up and say we actually think Brexit has been done badly. Excuse me. We want to rejoin the European single market. These are all the downsides of Brexit.
It's going to be a tough one. The single
Britain, you
market
call
thing
us.
makes sense, but it's a pretty tough one to talk about re-engaging with the EU when you've just seen all of that far-right lot elected in. Well, actually...
You don't get to pick and choose though, do you?
No, I was going to say maybe that actually damages the pro-Brexit cause more than the anti-Brexit cause. Because, you know, the anti-Brexit cause has always been a little bit too fluffy. It's always been a bit too berets that are blue with stars on it, and it's been a bit too friendly.
We need some
EU superguns.
stormtroopers.
It's ironic that like David
Yeah.
Lammy, Steve Bray, and Keir Starmer, who are like committed fucking Europhiles, being like sitting down with the AFD. David Lammy inviting Marine Le Pen for a bilateral. Yeah, fucking funny.
Would you have tea with Marine Le Pen?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
He wouldn't, would he?
No,
He's not having
pathetic.
tea with anyone.
She's not gonna kill me.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm assuming that she doesn't have a track record of murdering anyone.
You have slandered so many good Taliban men.
Taliban.
Would you have tea with someone from the Met?
Yes.
Who would you have tea with? Is there anyone left?
Yes. Well, who outside of the Taliban, the Metropolitan Police, and Marine Le Pen?
Well, the Metropolitan Police have killed people.
Yes, I know. That was a astute observation. I would have tea with
Why do
anyone.
you trust them more? Because Wayne Couzens was white?
Because I'm a white guy. They're not going to kill me.
Why?
Because I'm a white guy. Because the institutional racism and sexism.
They might like them.
Lord Miles was fine. He survived.
I don't think he's fine.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll rephrase that. He's not dead.
Who?
Lord
Lord
Miles,
Miles.
the Taliban. But ultimately, the white guy thing was about the Met. It wasn't about the Taliban one.
Boko Haram.
No, because I disagree with their policies on women.
I think it was
Is that it?
I don't share platforms.
Is that your only problem with Boko Haram?
I'm not pro kidnap.
Right, okay.
Then why would you
Sean.
have tea with the Met?
Why would I?
Because that's what Wayne Couzens did.
Sean,
What was the
name?
policy?
What was the name? What was the name of the bandit leader?
Like Jack's Yellow or something, wasn't it?
Jack Bros Yellow.
Who's Jack Brosiello?
One of the gang leaders in the Nigerian bandit wars.
Oh, yeah, no problem with him either.
Xi Jinping?
Yes, would have tea with Xi Jinping.
Putin.
Yes.
See, he has form for killing people who have tea.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not getting any planes in Russia, though. I'm not doing that.
Would you
Yeah,
have done
but-
Extreme Britain from Saddam Hussein's
Bunker. from his trial and execution. That's the extremist Britain.
they poloniumed Litvinenko's tea, didn't they? That's how they got him.
So is that what the risk is for you? You're worried about what's in the tea?
What is you two's thesis here? What are you trying to prove about me?
Have a pint with anyone, that's my thesis.
What personal defect?
You might learn something about the Taliban.
If
Like
you were
that-
going to be radicalised, what do you think would radicalise you?
Him.
Yeah.
Incel.
I'm like teetering on the edge every kind of day. Like you come to the office, I slam my laptop shut.
Yeah.
There's screeds and screeds on an incel forum about you two, and it's just by me.
Yeah.
Are we done? We got the Tory manifesto coming out today.
We do.
That's going to be a hell of an episode tomorrow.
Big
And-
day for
oh,
manifestos.
It's going to be a good episode tomorrow.
Why?
Tory Manifesto. You're doing Inucci this afternoon,
Sure am.
and we've
You're
got
doing who?
Armando Iannucci.
Oh, nice.
and we've got some very exciting polling to discuss.
Oh, fuck. That's going to be good.
You will,
That is going to be hella good.
let's just strictly tease this.
Yeah.
They're not
We'll
going
keep-
to believe this
yeah.
polling we've
Do
got
I get
coming.
to know what it is?
We'll tell
No.
you after the recording, tell you, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Secret.
It's just me.
Ooh.
What do you think is going to be in the Tory manifesto? How do they turn it round?
They are going to
Death penalty?
make you choose which of your children you have to kill.
What, because of the two-child policy? They said it's actually only 2 children now. You can't have any more than that.
Everyone gets to go to Eton.
Why would they want that? That would be
They love
social.
private schools so much.
Ava, your top pick? Most likely policy to appear in the Tory manifesto and turn this around?
I was hoping that I'd had a little bit more time because I was going to find the Tory MP that was hinting at a death policy yesterday.
Was
Death
that
policy.
was that not Sunak?
He said no mercy, didn't he?
That was
the
it.
law should show no mercy.
No, yeah, sick.
Which is such an interesting.
Do you know who we haven't
appraisal
heard
of the law.
from in ages? Is Patel?
Keeping her head down, isn't she?
Yeah,
It's been quiet.
yeah. Braverman's been out and about.
Oh, yeah.
When she was shouting about Nigel Farage should be in the top. Shut up.
They're going to reanimate Margaret Thatcher
That's a good idea.
and bring her
Yeah.
back.
War with the Falklands.
War with France. We have to go bigger. We have to go really, really old school.
What
War
could-
with Marie Le Pen's France.
That is old school. I like it.
Yeah, I think that's if we have another Waterloo, that would be a
England
a vote
expects
winner.
that every man will do his duty.
And then you have the traitorous Scots refusing to join.
Classic.
Actually, it's just the British Army. They don't have much of an option.
Germany on Friday. How you feeling?
I think when I was going to Germany, I was like,
No.
I was going to Germany. Excited,
Yeah.
but very excited.
Why are they already there?
Who? The Scotland team?
Yeah.
Just
Training or-
training and like
Yeah.
so they don't have to travel beforehand
Right.
to
What, to
set
get
up and camp.
adjusted to the climate?
Yeah, and there's time difference
I would say less time out there, the better, because
in Germany.
well, it's just
Well,
so
well-
much bratwurst, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're not going to be there very long anyway. So
Do you know what I had recently? Just
Actually, you lot would be fine with that, wouldn't you?
all the sausage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
plain sausage.
Plain sausage.
You know, normally when I barbecue, it'd be like, oh, it's going to go in a roll or something. Sausage by itself. Mustard.
So good.
Yeah.
C'est magnifique.
What kind of sausage? What? Like
Fucking
butcher?
anything. Toulouse sausage, Lincolnshire sausage, fucking bratwurst. Give it to me.
But are you getting it from the butcher? Because you strike me as a butcher man.
Sometimes, if I can be bothered, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When can't you be bothered?
most of the time. Then it's a supermarket
That's the
job.
thing about supermarkets, they're just so handy.
Yeah.
You should get an Italian sausage.
I love an Italian sausage.
Yeah.
With fennel.
There's a deli
Ooh.
around here.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. See you on the next one.